Stories for Emilia. With a little bit of imagination, anything can happen. Message from plastic bottles. This is a story about plastic bottles. The plastic bottles say, "It's not our fault, it's the people who discard us and do not recycle us." The sea creatures lived happily in the seas and the ocean. They lived in ecosystems, which means they all needed each other to live happily and balanced in the clean water. All the people loved going to the beach for picnics on sunny days. Emilia loved going to the beach, and she always took a bottle of water. Emilia saw a discarded plastic bottle. Oh no! Emilia picked it up and put it in the bin. Emilia thought, "You should never leave your plastic bottles on the beach. You should always pick them up and put them in the bin." Emilia looked out onto the ocean and she thought how beautiful it was. Emilia thought, what would happen to the beach and the seas and the oceans and all the sea creatures if people keep dropping their plastic bottles everywhere? There will be no beautiful beach, and what would all the sea creatures do? Emilia was very sad when she thought about all the discarded plastic bottles. The seagull thought that the plastic bottles were fish that he could eat. The starfish was scared of the plastic bottle. She didn't know what it was. The plastic bottles settled on the seabed, where the octopus would sleep, and he was very upset. He didn't like the plastic bottles. The turtle tried to eat the plastic bottles. She thought it was food, but it made her very poorly. The crab was curious about the plastic bottle. He didn't know what it was, but he knew it did not belong on the beach. Soon there were so many plastic bottles in the seas and the ocean that all the sea creatures became poorly. The plastic bottles were destroying the ecosystem, and all the sea creatures were helpless. Emilia looked at the plastic bottles and it made her very sad. The plastic bottles were so sorry. The plastic bottles didn't want to end up in the seas and the oceans. They just wanted to be recycled. Emilia wanted the whole world to recycle all their plastic bottles. But Emilia thought, how am I going to do that? It's impossible. Emilia met Emily, and she is an environmental campaigner. And Emily is raising awareness about the plastic pollution in the seas and the oceans. Emilia also met Emily's best friend, Olivia. Olivia was a marine biologist, and through her work she saw the devastating effects on all the sea creatures and the birds of the plastic pollution in the seas and oceans. Emily and Olivia told Emilia that every little bit of plastic that we stop going into the oceans and seas will make a difference. Together, we can do this. Emilia thought, if I tell all my family and friends to recycle their plastic bottles, and then they tell all their friends and family, and then they tell all their friends and family. Eventually the whole world will recycle their plastic bottles. And then all the sea creatures will be living in their ecosystems, in the clean water, free from the plastic bottles. And the seas and the oceans will feel like home again. Next time you go to the beach, like Emilia, remember to take all your plastic bottles home and recycle them. Emilia thought, if we recycle all the plastic bottles, maybe we can save the seas and the oceans for the sea creatures. The plastic bottles say thank you for recycling us. And Emilia says thank you for saving the seas and the oceans from plastic pollution, for me and all the other children in the world.